Welcome back to Dubsy Bricks and another episode of building Jabba's palace in Lego. And what a week it has been. We started off really positively and we made a lot of rock work, as you can see in these pictures here. However, I decided there were a few things I didn't like about it, so I decided to knock it all down. And rather than show you all of the footage that I'd recorded, the video that I recorded, I thought let's just show you a few pictures of it, and then we'll start from the destroyed stage basically, so you don't have to sit through everything twice. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this video and agree with the decision to start from scratch on this particular section. But anyway, let's get to it and show you the video. And in typical Dubsy Brick style, we've decided that we're not happy with the progress we've made, and we've ripped out the entire rankle pit and housing in here. And there's a couple of reasons for it. One is the doorway that leads to the rankle pit. When I rewatched the scene, it's actually a corridor and not just a doorway, so it's quite a bit thicker. And if you look at the maps in the book, Star Wars locations, you'll see there's actually like a rankle pit keeper's quarters just here. So I'm contemplating adding that, and you'll be able to see into his room, and there'll be another archway there. Then you have the door which leads to it. But then the housing room and the rankle, I think, need to be that a little bit bigger, and the doorway needs to be thicker as well. So all of that needs to be changed. Also, I'm not happy with the squareness of this, or the rectangle side of it. I think it needs to sort of like go back a little bit on there. The slope needed to be steeper and taller where the rankle pit comes out. I also wanted it so that when the trapdoor drops, there's a gate that drops and blocks off the hole that they've fallen through. And I wanted that to be on a mechanism. So what I've done, I've drafted up this here. It's took me a little while to work out how to do it. So you've got your trapdoor at the back there, and if you imagine, the gate will be at the bottom of this, and what will happen when you turn that lever there, the trapdoor will open and the gate will drop. Now the secret is I need to make it so that the minifigure's got time to drop through there before the gate's closed and blocks it off. So just need to work that little detail out, and also work out how I'm going to integrate that into the shoot. So yeah, it's frustrating because I've wasted yet more time on a Lego mock through not thinking it through properly at the beginning. But yeah, we just need to work out how we're going to set this all up. I'm going to need probably a long cog going through over this side or that side to the trapdoor, because as you can see, this cog that I'm using here is quite tall, and it's going to protrude from the floor, through the floor if we don't. So it needs that, the trapdoor basically needs to be a long way away from this cog. But all of this we can sort out. So what I'm going to do, rather than concentrate on the details of building the rock work up on there, I'm going to build the walls roughly how the shape that I want them, get the mechanisms in place, get those working, and then we can go from there. But yeah, I'm hoping that it's the right decision. And here's the revised layout. So what have we got is the prison cell has now been moved, so no longer than being here, it's down this end. Here we're going to have a corridor, so it's going to be quite a wide corridor, and there's going to be the archway that goes through to the hangar. They're going to put some stairs in somewhere in here. This is a small corridor which you've got the rankle keeper's chamber quarters on the left hand side. This is the rankle's housing pen, and then that'll be where the big door is that comes down and hits him on the head. And then this is the actual rankle pit. Down here, that's just going to be a solid wall, and then you've got the prison cell. And I'm going to have 6 doors on there, but you're only actually going to see in one cell, and that's the one where Han and Chewie are kept. And then at the end there will be an archway and some stairs which will lead upwards. So I think that's going to look a lot better like that. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to work out how to get the mechanism in the back for the trapdoors, and then I'll build everything else around it. So these next few episodes are going to be mainly on building the structure up ready, and then I'll put the walls on, so hopefully that way it will work out better this time around. So let's get to it. The Technic work is coming on, and quite pleased with how it's going so far. I'm going to be having 2 runners, one on each side, to help keep the gate stable. I couldn't have a pole running through here because it would have been preventing the tunnel down into the rankle pit, so I've had to put one behind here. So this cog here will be turned by the lever. That will then in turn turn that cog, which obviously turns the axle, and then it'll bring this one the same way as that one there. So it's all going to work in one fluid motion.
What we need to do now is continue to build up all around it, work out where the cog's got to be for the trapdoor and how it's going to have a slight delay on that door happening, and we can go from there. The cog we're going to be using will need to be the same size as this one here, which, as mentioned before, will mean it's sticking up through the floor. So what we need to do in that case is put it more to the left, I think. So we'll work that out in a moment. But yeah, pleased how it's coming on. And we have our first technical problem. Now when I turn the handle, this beam does go up and down. However, as you can see, it's getting stuck, and that's purely because it is just too tight in there. And the only reason it's allowing me to do that motion there is the beam is coming slightly forward towards the camera. And it's all because this is half a plate too thick this way. So I need to lose half plate, which isn't obviously possible on there. I need to use this bracket here to get the half plate, and I need to get that attached to the wall on here so that this will then run down smoothly. I can reduce this runner by one plate and replace it by this bracket. So I just need to mend this part in here, and then it should all work nice and smoothly. So we now need to work out how we're going to do that. So here we've gained our half a plate down the edge, which we're going to now put a tile on, and then that's going to enable the runners of the trapdoor to go up and down nice and smoothly. So as you can see, we've used some snot bricks along with some brackets, and that's all gone together quite nicely. And then by putting the plate on top of the bracket, that makes it flush, and that brick stopping anything from popping away that side. So I said now we just put a tile on that side, and then that would be the nice smooth finish for the runner to go up and down. Then we've got our snot bricks on this side for us to do the rock effect on. So all we need to do is carry on building it back up, and then we should be good to go with getting the mechanism all in place and running smoothly. And here we have it, and it's working. So the lever, when you just do one turn, it will bring it up and it drops back down again. So all we need to do now is connect the gate at the bottom, and that will fill the hole up at the very bottom of it. And then we just need to connect the trapdoor to this mechanism on here. So yeah, really pleased at how that's come out. It's taken a lot longer than I was anticipating, but as I mentioned in the past, Technic is not something that I'm that familiar with. So it is all a massive learning curve. And the chute, if we just drop the Gamorrean Garden, it pops out the bottom. So that's all good. So yeah, let's carry on building around that and work out how the trapdoor is going to go. All we need to do now is work out how tall the rankle pit needs to be as well. And it'd be nice to be able to make this come out so there's a little bit more room for the trapdoor to go into. So yeah, that's going to be another thing we're going to be looking at doing very shortly. And here is the trapdoor. So when you just pull the lever down, as you can see, the gate comes down to block the Gamorrean guard or whoever escaping from the rankle pit. So now all we need to do is, as I said just previously there, we just need to get the trapdoor working at the top to somehow open just a fraction quicker than that. So we need to give the figure enough time, fall through the hole, and then that drops down to block him from escaping. We are getting very low on the cogs and things like that. I think it was the only two I've got of that size. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge to do that. But because I've got that section now all done, what I can now do is carry on building the wall around that side, getting all the snot bricks in place. But yeah, it's amazing how much we've got done this week, brickwork wise, and then ripped down and then done this. But it was well worthwhile doing. So it's going to be a lot better looking and everything else like that than it was previously.
And we've built the walls up to the height that we want them to be, and we've also put the plates on there, so they're now all ready for the slopes to go on there and the finer details. And that's it for this update, and yeah, I'm pretty pleased with the progress that's been made here. It has been highly frustrating, sort of like building something, knocking it down, just to rebuild it again in a slightly different way. So obviously there's a lot of time has been wasted with the rock work and destroying it. However, again, it's one of these things that I just want it to look right, and I would sooner waste a few days' work and make sure that it does look right at the end of it all. And it's going to be a big project, so I'm sure it's going to happen a few times. We are slowly learning our lessons from building the Batcave and Lego. However, still need to make sure I think about things a little bit more, just so I don't have that wasted time. Because this here is nowhere near as much progress as I would ideally like in an update. I have had comments about the prison cell being raised by one brick. and that is something I am going to do. I've moved it just down there for the time being, but it will be something I will amend on here. The mechanism on here, I thought afterwards I should have done it very similar to how I did the lift in Wayne Manor, and although it's the same principle, I could have actually done the same design, but just having the two cogs on either side. So I may amend that. However, it does work fine as it is there, so there's no necessity really to do it. Somebody kindly gave me the dimensions of the rank or the mould one, because that's roughly what size it's going to be. So again, I just need to make sure that everything is going to work. It's going to be big enough in there. So thanks for putting the comments below last week in the update. I really appreciate that. And what we're going to do next is we're going to make sure that we get all of this built up next week. So we're going to get as much progress done as possible. And by the end of next episode, you're going to visually see a lot of changes to this structurally wise. There's going to be a lot done on here, or at least I hope that's going to be the case. But yeah, it's good. I'm really enjoying the technical side of it. I should hopefully have some more cogs coming this week. I thought it was going to be a couple of weeks, but I think they're going to arrive sooner than anticipated. So I will be able to get a lot more of that done. One other thing that we did have arrive today, which I'm really excited about, is this bad boy. So we've got Leia's helmet at Bosch. So I'm going to do a review on that this week. I thought it was very apt considering we are doing Jabba's Palace at the moment. So I look forward to making that set up. And yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed the update, even though it has been visually not as much progress. Hope you've enjoyed the technical side of what we're doing there. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel. Give us a big thumbs up if you enjoyed the episode. And please share it with as many people as possible. Really appreciate it. Thanks for walking by. See you next time. Bye for now.